So European wars are breaking out, and this is pretty exciting because we just saw England declare war on the Celts. We saw France declare war on Spain. We just got finished up with a Austria coalition, as well as Germany and Denmark made peace. European powers are starting to lose it. We also have colonies being declared war on by Songhai, and some of these European powers are losing their power in Africa. And in reality, this can only result in kind of two different paths. Either Europe is going to get significantly weakened, maybe even taken over by some outside forces like the Huns, like someone from Africa, like maybe Songhai. I mean, obviously Songhai has a chance of taking over some colonies, but I think forces outside of Europe could possibly start to chip away at cities, maybe from Sweden, Austria, Poland, or we could see Europe become a whole lot stronger and more united. And what I mean by that is if someone like the Netherlands declare war on a weakened civ, someone like France, England, Denmark, the Celts, whoever it is, and they grab a city, that's only going to unify William's empire as a whole. And before I forget, let me go ahead and turn back on the score list. I always forget to turn that back on. So yeah, I mean, this, like I said, I mean, it's either going to make them stronger or weaker. And at the end of the day, this is what Europe really needs because they're being caught from all different sides. Obviously, in military power, they can't keep up. Siam in East Asia, it's 1914, so you're starting to see these Asian nations, as well as, I don't think so much the Zulu, but somewhat the Zulu, starting to catch up in the East. It's complicated. And you know what? Now that I think about it, William is probably... he's probably only mobilizing some of his troops to defend his territory in Africa. I don't think he wants to lose his colonies. And I'm sure that's probably given him a lot of money. To be able to trade with the Civ that far away from the capital, I assume that's got to give him a lot of money. So we'll see. But then you got to think, what is he doing with all his boats? All these unique boats. France has started to come... I don't know what France is doing. France is at war with Spain. And we started to see more and more musketeers being pushed out into the North Sea. And I'm assuming to wrap around the British Isles to protect Paris and maybe go after Madrid. But he's taken a very long time in doing that. In turn, England is just pretty much going to lose her ship of the line. She is not going to be able to defend... She's not going to be able to defend the ship of the line unless she retreats it right now. She might actually in the next turn. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I guess we'll have to wait and see what United States of Alaska is thinking. As well as who else are we looking at? Babylon, that's right. Babylon. Okay, let's go to the next turn. They're safe. They're safe. And I think you got to think that in the hands of Japan, it's helping. A lot of cargo ships rushing to America. I don't think that the Japanese feel right trading with someone like the Shoshone. Someone like, obviously, Mongolia. I'm sure they feel threatened. I'm sure they feel threatened with Mongolia building up more and more troops in the Gulf of Japan. Oh my gosh, it's just so many ships. They've got to be launching something. I mean, although they could be trying to build this naval fleet up only to attack the Chinese. But China only has one coastal city. Obviously, they still have Kashyyyks and Mongolian. The Genghis Khan could go and attack Beijing through land. I don't know. This is so strange to see this massive fleet of Mongolians just building up these ships and stuff like that. Celts and the Huns have made peace. Persia's building up more and more of an army. I'm assuming going after India at some point. No Manhattan projects just yet, so I don't think I need to discover the... I think we're still pretty far away from needing to discover uranium. And I can't wait for that, though. That's always such a huge factor. Whenever we get into these AI-only campaigns, it's like, whoever has uranium, it's such a big deal. It's such a big deal. So the Mayan and Inca have made peace, and... Ooh. So the Inca managed to grab this city. Now, did they take this city? Yeah, I believe they took it in a peace deal. I think so. Not as big of a deal if they were to take over this Mayan Central American city. Because they still, I mean, you're probably not going to see the Inca too close to the Shoshone just yet. And I really want to see that. I really want to see that. Even though the Inca have a pretty small army. I mean, nothing really to compete at all with the Shoshone. The Iroquois can, that's for sure. Actually, I mean, not really. They can't really compete with the Shoshone. Oh, Minutemen marching out to fight off the Shoshone invaders. I don't know how well that's going to go for them, but at least they're trying. At least they're trying. Got to give them props for that. Polynesia's denounced Brazil. And what else do we have? And that's it. Indonesia's doing okay for themselves. They don't have much of an army. They should probably protect themselves against... Wow. They've got Dutch sea beggars all the way in Australia right now. Surprised that we don't see more colonization in Australia. That's been really kind of weird. I figured we'd see way more of that. Babylon doesn't have much of an army right now. Yeah, so clearly I think Austria and Byzantium are still at war. Because I think we're seeing like loss of health from both of these units. Which is probably only keeping Greece more and more safe. How's this going for the Songhai Empire? You haven't really... Ottomans and Zulu, Ottomans and Arabia. That seems like just a double one-ball combo. I don't think it's going to be a coalition. I mean, the Ottomans have been really quiet. I don't think that's supposed to be because of some sort of aggression from the Ottomans. Solomon's been really quiet. And that probably won't result in anything either. Strange wars. Wars that I think are kind of just in play to maybe, say something to the world. 8 more turns also for the World Congress. I need to check that. What's being enacted here? Embargo, that's myself. And we have arts funding. So that's a big one. Obviously, that'll more than likely get voted in. And that could be... Yeah, that'll probably bring us maybe closer to a cultural victory. I didn't even discuss this. There are a lot of ideas, and I'm loving the influence in the comment section below. You guys are suggesting all sorts of different ways I could possibly name a victory if a cultural victory is not possible. I mean, some crazy ones. There's times. I love the very creative, naming of a victory where we go through the info addicts and we just look at all of the empires, and I guess we just rank every empire with the most amount of number 1 stats. That's smart. A very simplified one, but I liked it, was just look at the empire with the most happiness. Now, that probably won't be the method that we choose, but that the commenter had a point. That ultimately, the empire with the most happiness technically wins the game, right? They've got the most happiness of citizens, but, I mean, this is Civ 5, and that's not necessarily the truth. I mean, the AI gets... Well, they don't, actually. They don't get any happiness bonuses because we're playing on prints, but let's just go ahead and just for the sake of things, look at that. Just for the sake of things, let's go ahead and check that, because we haven't checked on this stuff in a while anyways. Oh, so it's a lot of European civs. Yeah, so I don't know. That might be a little bit biased. Let's go ahead and check technologies really quick, because I want to see if, no, still William in first place. Yeah, I mean, Siam's getting close. 3 techs behind. Germany 4. The Inca 5. No, I mean, actually, Germany, the Inca, Shoshone, and Brazil are all tied up. Man, lot of Native Americans catching up. And the Zulu, I'm telling you, the Zulu are not going to get any higher than 8. I cannot see them get any higher than 8. Okay. We have Nebuchadnezzar completing the porcelain tower. Not really helping out Babylon too much. Man, stupid notifications. I just really want to make sure that I don't lose out on oh, there we go. Spain's losing this city. But are these cavalry attacking melee? Yes. Yes, of course. I believe. Let's check here. Let's check. That would be a big downfall for Spain. Because Spain only has 1 city, I believe. After this... They only have 1 colony in Africa, and then they have... Oh, the Celts have now declared... Or, I'm sorry, Zulu have declared war on the Celts. And the Zulu have a navy, technically. Uh-oh, Songhai, you better watch it, because the Netherlands are not going to just go down without a fight, protecting their colony in Africa. They're finally getting there. They've got 3 Lancers and 1 Rifleman. Which actually are That's a huge technological advantage over Askia. Has he taken it yet? It doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it at all. A few more denouncements. Anything else? Any more peace deals? Nope, seems like everything else is fine. Oh, there it goes. Boom. Boom, dropped. Okay, so more power for Songhai. Now, here's the thing. Songhai has no navy. If they had just a few boats, they'd really be able to counteract to this reinforcement that William is trying to send. But they have nothing. Which is clearly a huge problem. What is this? Darius has entered the industrial era? Yeah, that's clearly a huge problem. Because if they reinforce with these troops, that's a big deal. Because, I mean, you have Askia with, you know, pikemen and a long swordsman and a crossbowman and a trebuchet fighting against, you know, a Gatling gun. Now, this is when we actually see some pretty interesting kind of, I don't know, I guess historical irony here, where you have an African power that, you know, you have reinforcement of a European powerhouse in Europe, but yeah, and Europe has the technological advantage. This is cool. This is really cool. At the same time, Spain is losing power. France hasn't mobilized, and I believe the Celtic-English War is not going to amount to anything. Well, actually, who knows? Because Elizabeth did, in fact, manage to escape the bombardment of the Celtic city. The ship of the line is now healing inside of York territory. Oh, yes, India versus Persia. That is finally Darius declared that war. And Darius, I think, is going to just run straight through Indian territory. Holy crap, look at these units. Well, maybe not. You've got a worker here, too. Well, you can't forget about, well, India has no coastal cities, at least in the subcontinent of India. They have that one colony out there, but that's not going to do much for them. Is that it? India and Korea have made peace. I got to see what that spy said. Oh, man, I can't wait to see what Persia does. Persia might be a powerhouse in the Middle East here. Because obviously after that, they can roll over Arabia, steal away Sri Lankan Byzantium. Okay, so what else do we have? 5 more turns, arts funding, and then, yes, the embargo of city-states that I had to do there. Babylon is secretly plotting against Arabia. Figured that. I don't think a war is going to break out anytime soon, though. How's USA doing? USA. The Minutemen's going for it. The Minutemen is just, it's ballsy. Ballsy move by Washington, but he's going to try something here. So 2 new wars. This is a big one. Persia versus India. The result of this war could be huge. If India loses their capital, wow. Yeah, that's a pretty massive amount of power. A huge power shift in the region. People like Assyria need to kind of worry. Although Assyria has a pretty good military. I guess more, if anything, Arabia's got to worry. Byzantium has got to worry. Because if India's capital, Delhi, falls, then more than likely Mumbai is going to fall. Yeah, that'll probably fall next. They only have 2 crossbowmen. They've got a cannon unit, a lancer, and actually another crossbowman up here. A musketman trying to move its way through this valley, but a pikeman is defending that territory. And who knows, if Persia loses enough here, then maybe Assyria starts to mobilize and attacks from the north. The Persian capital is really open, especially with all these cannon units that Assyria has. It's really open for an attack. Let's see. We've got to see. So many more notifications. Holy crap. Okay, let's go to the next turn. But do they have any... Oh, there's the ideology. Netherlands have chosen autocracy. Now, weirdly enough, the AI kind of tends to go autocracy for cultural victories. It's really strange. But that tends to happen. So I think we might see a lot of the world turn to autocracy, which actually means that we should see a huge push of war. Because as you know, most of the policies in the autocracy tree are pushing and gearing the world for a massive war. So the more nations that have, that choose autocracy, I think ultimately the more nations that we could see a huge world war break out. A few coalitions a war breaking out, and who knows? India, you're in trouble. Yeah, so they do have trebuchets, so that should be enough for Persia technically. With their pikemen, they should be able to fight off these lancer units, I think, pretty easily. Ooh. Unit's been lost there. You better reinforce, son. You better reinforce, man. It's not going to be doing so good. Persia's using their trade route with Ethiopia, keeping up this pretty sizable military. Their navy could easily walk in and take Baghdad in southern India. Yeah, no doubt. Because Arabia can't really do much against Persia as it is. We'll see. Okay, so let's check what's going on in the war for Africa. Oh, I didn't even think about that. William is going to get caught up because of the Spanish city that was taken away. Oh, it's happening right now. Oh, wow. So you know what? Yeah, this reinforcement was actually for nothing. The problem is I think Aska's got different plans with this small force, these forces here. I don't know if they want to attack Morocco. Maybe they want to attack Rome. What are the Huns doing? What are the Huns doing? Is France moving around? No. France is only bringing one musketeer down towards Paris. Another musketeer is kind of mobilizing for Madrid. Portugal has nothing really to kind of do anything different here. Persia's declared war on Spain. Oh, Rome has declared war on Spain. But without open borders, that doesn't mean much. But wait a sec. But it's possible that Augustus has open borders. I don't know with the Huns though. I imagine the Huns probably maybe with Carthage. To be honest, I thought that they didn't like each other, but it's possible. Oh, the Huns are at war with Portugal. Oh man, so the wars are breaking out. Now the wars are starting to break out. Netherlands are going to get significantly weaker here. Their reinforcement was for nothing. Askia took the city at the perfect right time, just as William's troops were moving around the coast of Africa. They grabbed the city, and now they're using the city bombardment as well as a cannon unit that's stationed within the city. Okay, well, what else do we have? Anything else? Poland and Spain, Rome, Spain, Persia, Spain. Maybe we even see the Huns take over Lisbon here. Wait a second. Are the Huns at war? No, the Huns are not at war with Spain. You better hope they're not at war with Spain, Isabella. Or else you are in freaking trouble. Let's see if Rome has... No, there's no way Rome has open borders. But they might get it. Augustus could get it through Carthage. They don't have enough boats, though. Augustus does not have enough boats. Could you imagine seeing a Rome in Madrid? Yeah, Songhai has made peace with Spain, but we have Zulu in Spain breaking out. Zulu do have a few troops over this way. I guess a few ships, but nothing to worry about, really. Spain might be okay. Let's check on the subcontinent of India. I think India might have the technology advantage here. And the numbers are pretty close. Ottomans and Morocco have made peace. Morocco also entering the industrial era. A lot of CIVS also playing really quietly. I think that those are the CIVS you got to watch out for. Those CIVS that are playing quietly are the ones that you kind of need to keep your eye on. Sneaking a victory here without anybody knowing. All right, guys. Looks like I'm actually going to have to stop it right there. Let's see what happens. Any other wars? Assyria break out into Persia? Nope. The Assyrian-Persian war is still going to have to wait. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.